Welcome back to CIA Declassified. It's 1967. The Vietnam War is raging and the jungle is a cacophony of mortar fire and radio static. But for a select group of angry technicians, the war is eerily quiet. Why? Because they're standing under 300 feet of solid granite. Above them, the Viet Cong are moving through the brush. Below them, the most advanced computer systems in Southeast Asia are humming away, processing encrypted intel that won't reach the Pentagon for another hour. This is Operation HARDROCK. While the rest of the military was building sandbagged outposts, the CIA was boring into the earth, creating a fortress of signal that was supposed to be the ultimate indestructible nerve center. Building a secret base is hard. Building one inside of a mountain during a guerrilla war, that's an engineering nightmare. The CIA's Office of Communications, OC, selected a site in the central Highlands specifically designed to withstand a direct hit from 122mm Soviet rockets. The faculty was designed to be a self-contained habitat for up to 50 personnel. A quote from the Declassified OC construction summary. The granite composition of the site provides natural shielding against electromagnetic interference and physical assault. Excavation must proceed under the guise of local road improvements to maintain operational security. End quote. Technicians worked in 12-hour shifts using diamond-tipped drills that were smuggled into the country as mining equipment for phantom commercial enterprise. The air inside HARDROCK had to be scrubbed by massive filtration systems to prevent the buildup of radon gas, a natural byproduct of the granite that threatened to poison the SAF. A quote from the site engineer logbook. The humidity is our greatest enemy. We are seeing condensation on the mainframe cabinets despite the climate control. If the cooling fails, we are essentially operating inside a pressurized oven. End quote. Operation HARDROCK was equipped with its own independent power grid fueled by hidden diesel tanks buried even deeper than the living quarters. To keep the site secret, the CIA used noise-canceling explosives for the final blasting phases, timing the detonations to coincide with nearby friendly artillery strikes. The mountain's peak was fitted with disguised antennas, transmitters camouflaged to look like dead trees or jagged rock outcroppings to avoid detection by North Vietnamese spotters. Communication officers at HARDROCK were required to wear ear grounding straps to prevent static electricity from the mountain's mineral vines from frying the sensitive teletype machines. The facility included a psychological decompression room featuring fake windows with backlit paintings of the Virginia countryside to prevent bunker madness. Food and supplies were brought in via a false bottom truck system that traveled a seemingly abandoned logging road twice a week. The agency investigated using seismic communication, sending signals through the vibrations of the mountain itself as a backup if the antennas were destroyed. HARDROCK analysts were responsible for Operation Igloo White, processing data from thousands of acoustic sensors dropped along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The project cost an estimated $15 million in 1968 dollars, a figure that was hidden in the budget under the label Rural Development Infrastructure. When the facility was eventually evacuated during the U.S. withdrawal, the CIA used thermite grenades to melt the computer cores into unrecognizable puddles of slag. The water supply for the base was harvested from an underground aquifer discovered during drilling, making the facility completely independent of surface water sources that could be poisoned by the Viet Cong. A quote from a CIA field surgeon memo. Extended tours in the HARDROCK environment are producing vitamin D deficiencies and altered circadian rhythms among the 24-hour shift workers. We are recommending the installation of high-intensity full-spectrum lighting, end quote. The bunker utilized specialized blast valves that could snap shut in milliseconds, protecting the internal atmosphere from the pressure wave of a near-miss nuclear strike. To prevent the vibration of the massive cooling fans from giving away the base's location to sensitive enemy microphones, the entire mechanical room was mounted on giant shock-absorbing springs. A quote from a declassified OC security audit. Personnel must adhere to strict silent protocols while entering and exiting the primary access shaft. The acoustic signature of the elevator mechanism remains a primary vulnerability. End quote. When you get to the staffing and internal security sections of the HARDROCK files, the redactions look like the bars of a cage. The heaviest redactions are in the staffing anomalies section. Speculation suggests these bars hide the fact that several technicians suffered from subterranean hallucinations, claiming to see and hear people who weren't there. The theory is that the blacked out text describes the CIA's study into cave-induced psychosis. Further speculation surrounds Incident 44. Conspiracy theorists believe the redacted text here describes a moment when the drilling team broke into a natural cavern system that was already occupied, not by people, but by something unidentified, and the black bars hide the first contact reports. There is a persistent theory that the redactions hide the escape tunnel. Speculation holds that a 5-mile tunnel was dug all the way to a secure extraction point, and the black bars hide the map of where the tunnel still exists today, potentially still holding lost assets. Some speculate the redactions hide the nuclear power logs. The theory is that the diesel generators were just a cover for a small experimental nuclear reactor that was abandoned in the mountain, and the bars hide the radiation leak reports. Conspiracy theorists often point to the deep space relay logs. The speculation is that the HARDROCK wasn't just for Vietnam, but was a secret hub for tracking satellites that didn't officially exist, and the redacted files hide the stargazer data. There is also speculation that the Granite Mountain acted as a giant crystal antenna. The theory is that the black bars hide the CIA's discovery that the facility was accidentally receiving voices from the future, and the analysts were actually transcribing history before it happened. There is speculation that the redacted security personnel section hides the use of mind-controlled guards for another project, and the black bars hide the behavioral glitch incidents. Some theorists believe the Ho Chi Minh Trail redactions hide the fact that HARDROCK was actually underneath an empty supply route, and the black bars hide the eavesdropping on footsteps logs. A persistent theory suggests the redactions hide the gold stash, speculation that the mountain bunker was used to hide millions in South Vietnamese bullion during the fall of Saigon, and the bars hide the inventory discrepancy. There's even some speculation that the redactions hide the end-of-life protocol, where the mountain was rigged with enough explosives to collapse the entire peak, and the black bars hide the confirmation of destruction that never actually came. Rumors suggest the redactions in the biological research section hide a plan to use the base as a storage unit for Agent Orange concentrated samples, with the black bars masking the accidental exposure of the drilling crew. There is wild speculation that the redacted visitor logs include the name of a high-ranking North Vietnamese general who was secretly meeting with the CIA, and the black bars cover the greatest betrayal of the war. Some speculate that the redactions in the air vent security section hide the installation of lethal automated turret systems that were left active after the base was abandoned. There's even a theory that the seismic monitoring redactions hide the fact that the CIA detected an artificial structure much deeper in the mountain, and the black bars cover the failed attempt to drill down to it. Lastly, some people speculate the redactions hide the cryptographic keys section because the CIA is still using the mountain's core to host a secret, unhackable server for modern-day operations. Was Operation HARDROCK a success? Technically, yes. The facility never went offline, and it was never discovered by the enemy while it was active. It proved the CIA could operate in total isolation. Strategically, it was a tragic waste. Millions were spent on a fortress that had to be melted and abandoned once the political winds changed. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs go, the mountain secrets paved the way for modern underground tech. Hardened communications, the tech developed for HARDROCK, led to the EMP-proof bunkers used by the U.S. government today. Compact climate control, the struggle against mountain humidity resulted in more efficient cooling systems for modern data centers. subterranean logistics. The CIA refined the art of invisible supply chains, moving massive amounts of material without aerial detection. And signal isolation, learning to filter out the mountain noise, improved the agency's ability to pick up faint signals from deep within enemy territory. Operation Hard Rock proves that sometimes the safest place to be is in the belly of the beast, as long as you don't mind the dark. Thanks for listening. Next time we examine Sub-Project 8 of the MK Ultra projects. How do you take down a room full of people without firing a single shot? The agency wanted a knockout gas that was fast, invisible, and left no trace. We'll look at the terrifying development of aerosolized drugs and the clandestine tests performed in urban spaces, from the sleepy cities experiments to the moral black hole of the agency's search for the perfect off switch. We uncover the gas that almost changed the face of urban warfare. Join us next time for the big sleep. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.